Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hot Issue on your favorite channel, Positive Media GS. Yes, my name is Okent. Martinasi information be abetuja. I'm so Debbie, I make catch us. I mean, Tinasu pe me Jim Akunjo pen HSA. Information be abetuja. Information be so and I'm just so and in the media and so. Martinasi, the answer me did me bring my chef on me tea for name a dog for. Now and I'm very so me chair maybe I'm will be and I want to thank you for supporting this show and this channel. I see you. I do want to anyone here. Information be abetuja in some be also concerning MPP and your ticket to the upcoming 2024 election December. Now on the 3rd of July and I told just I'm the DB Akoma MPP the party council to deliberate on who to partner Dr. Baumia for the ticket to the election. Na edinu kopepie mu edin bebe kopepie mu na ebe toja no yese dodo na fe ne Napo no anase Dr. Opoku Prempeh former energy minister ano ne din ebe toja say ono be partner Dr. Baumia for the ticket anase obe partner Dr. Baumia for a ticket for the upcoming election. Na ebe toja na I mean nkofo bebe then I say Napo arrogant we know be vice president came they should win the election day I be asem. Now, on the 9th, no, I'm quite some unveiling. Unveiling, no, a conference will be a company saying, I official unveiling, you know, now. Honorable Napo, your man, Michael, was on call, podium, no, Kakavinche, MPP full soldiers. No, be no, and some local kind, I mean, it didn't really sit well with Ghanaians, and also, Medane, debates need controversies in the idea, I just say, a conference will be and anyway, Reverend has joined me on the telephone. He's going to express his opinion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Reverend has joined me all the way from the USA to express his opinion and share his ideas with us on the matter of Napo and the upcoming election as a whole. Hello, Reverend. So, if you can hear me, thank you for joining us on today's episode of Hot Issue on your favorite channel, Positive Media GH. Please, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing very well. And yourself?
Yeah, we are doing very fine. Reverend, I know you know exactly what is trending and what is going on in this country because obviously you have been following, even though you are not in this country, but you have been keeping yourself abreast with what is going on in Ghana. And I hope so. We'll treat you kakra.
Yeah. The referee,
All right. Thank you. It's for to get straight to business. Reverend, there are few things I want to ask you concerning this Naponi Dr. Baumia issues in there. My first question is, quite recently, Dr. Baumia selected his running mate Napo. In his speech, he declared that Akufo-Addo presidency or Anasa Akufo-Addo administration has done better than all the past presidents of Ghana. Reverend, do you agree with this statement?
Well, first of all, let me really say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your show, and also I want to say hi to your listeners. Yes, kind of say what you share.
It's here for now,
right? Okay, good. It's here for now, oh Ghana. Yeah, from Tema to USA, yeah. many years, yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So, so I want to, thank you for having me, and I really have been watching you, and all of you are doing a very, very good job. Kent, Jeff Craig, Stable GH. Hey, this GH party, I tell you, Stable GH, Tunchi, Aki, and the rest. You are all doing a great job.
Yeah.
So thank you for all that you are doing. Let's go to the question that you asked. I actually did watch it, and I was actually in the plane flying to California when that happened. So when I got down, I got a lot of texts from all over, people from Ghana, people from here, telling me to watch it. So I quickly, turn on my phone and I click on the link that was sent to me, and I saw Dr. Opoku Prempeh coming to the stage, and then taking the microphone and speaking.
Yeah.
First of all, that politically, my whole family has been MPP for a long time.
Oh yes, that's
so. I've had this for many years. I've had, even though I don't live in Ghana, I've had this strong affection for the party.
Yeah.
And President Kufuor was really an exemplary president for me. So I loved the party so much. And so when Akufo-Addo was coming to power, President Akufo-Addo was coming to power, I literally even paid for people to take transportation to go and vote. Yeah. So a lot of people voted because of me, because I paid for them to do that. And I would say I probably threatened people that if they don't vote, they should ask me for money again. So I contributed a lot to get the president. I used to even say in my house, and my kids, and we used to say, the former for Nana. That was the kids with my kids and I used to say that all the time in my house.
I think that that time at Ekufuor's time was Asiawa.
Yes, I remember very well. So when the first 4 years of President Akufo-Addo was, I think it was great. Yeah. And then after we voted for him for the second time, everything just went south. And for a moment, I just couldn't even believe, for a second, what was happening. Yeah. And I mean, so to a point that it's almost like the country keeps going backwards, and nothing seems to be working, in Ghana. That is why, since I moved from Ghana for many, many, many years, I've never been to Ghana. Yeah. I had never been to Ghana. But the reason why I actually came to Ghana in 2022 was because I wanted to come and see things for myself. Yeah. And so I traveled, and okay, you saw me. I traveled all over the place trying to see everything so that I can assess it for myself. Yeah. And things that were there when I was a little, when I was a child, a youth in Ghana, that I saw had deteriorated to the point that I couldn't even believe myself. Yeah. Roads that were paved were now red roads. I mean, things were just absolutely deplorable, And so, and people couldn't even afford food to eat, And I remember you and I will go to town and we will go out to places and I will give tips. And I remember people were questioning why I was giving a tip. But in the United States, that's what we do. When somebody does something good for you, you give them something to thank them for their service. Yeah. So that's what we do. But it's like people were begging for money, which was, for me, was so strange because when I was in Ghana, I never saw that. No way. So for someone to really tell me that this situation is better even than when I was a child, that for me is very hard for me to believe. Because when I was a child, I was told that the past was better. So if the past was better, and then I think that, when I was in Ghana was better than the time that I came to Ghana recently, in 2022. Yeah. Then no one, absolutely no one, can tell me that this present time is better than any time in the history of Ghana. I'm not, I'm not saying, I'm trying, person make any complex issue. Yeah, I'm not using economic terms. Yeah. I'm not using main car brofo Casibia as a be dream once and what yes, made sure again Sunea, a Colapa support yes.
Yeah.
Say, Mimi Sano, that's a Ghana. Ned de Ghana de Akasan Ukuta, Sikati, I will come my hands be Roberto Brudo in butter. Oh,
yeah.
Now, you know, Krana, which mama, I'm not going to kill.
Yeah, true.
So now, aha. Ma milk ne bi ka o. Ebi ka na o ma me ko Nkrumah na wa ka fa na wa no. Wa mbeba na wa no. E ka set wo so. E bi sa wa no me o se enye wa. So wonu sa na no me. So by the plan, according to we know Ghana no mo kan kwa it mean nye me bi ponka. Enti no say those days no na Ghana ede. And I'm young, so I will be catching and Ghana na champ on war or no the Kwame Nkrumah time. No Ghana, the change time. I mean, or I mean, see it. So I say,
yeah.
Now, say, maybe Ghana and say, I'm me, mayor of them. Me say, Ghana now be better year. Community 8, 7, 4. Eko nyina Gani Ashama. Now catch on say Ghana now me better year na papa. A chain, yeah, Mimi Jao, ya, me, young boy, Jao, America. Let me say, Saudi panel, only oil change because that doesn't make sense. So when I heard that statement on that stage that day, I was confused. I was confused because, see, this is a man that went to a university that was built by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So how can he even speak like this? Okay, now let me come back to Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah, okay, in 1965, he built Akosombo Dam.
Wow.
Okay, and then he developed, the Tema Harbor. He actually made development to the harbor to really make it viable for things to be able to move through it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was not all of it. 1963, he built the Tema oil refinery. I don't know if that fire continued to burn.
Oh no.
Because when I was a child, that fire used to burn all the time. That was 1963.
Now.
In 1966, he built the Ghana Textile Printing Company, the GTP. We used to walk to that place.
Yeah.
1959 was when he built Georg. And under Georg, we had Achimota Brewery, we had Takrady Distilleries, we had Ghana Shoe Factory, we had Ghana Match Company. And then Almighty Vasco.
Yeah.
1964. 1967, he built Gassem. And then 65, he continued to build the Ghana Sugar Estate Limited. And then Commander Sugar Factory and Esuchari Sugar Factory. 65, I hope you are taking notes. In 1965, he built the Ghana Cocoa Processing Company. You know those tall buildings over there?
Yeah, the silos, yes.
We used to go there to swim under it. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and then the Bossa, Pie Factory in 1963. The meat processing factory in 1962, and then the tomato factory in 1963, the Pualuku tomato factory in 1965. I mean, I can go on and go on. And think about the high schools that he built.
A lot of them.
And then Tema Motorway.
Yeah, almighty.
Okay. So, this man ruled Ghana in a span of 7 years to 9 years. Okay, that was all. And he did all these things.
Yeah.
My question to anyone that will say that any president has done better than Kwame Nkrumah should tell me if we can even put all these presidents after him together and get a magnitude of work as what I have just mentioned to you. And these are not all of them. These are just part of them. So Akufo-Addo, he came and finished the airport, but he didn't start it.
Yeah.
He finished the highway. What is it? Pokuase interchange. He didn't start it. The Kumasi airport, which was open but really is not operational. Yeah. He didn't start that. So all the things that he's done, he never started any of them. Just settlement, housing projects that are sitting in the bush that the NDC government, ex-President Mahama started. Guess what? He did nothing about it. A good president doesn't think about what party does. He thinks about what is good for a country.
Now they're about to sell it, so.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So when you sit and you tell me that this presidency, or maybe I'm still asleep. Let me tell you this. When I went to graduate school in Chicago, okay, I was walking on campus one day and I saw the International African Economic Studies Department. So I walked into that building, okay, and I met the dean of that program. And he asked me, he said, "Where do you come from?" And I said, "I come from Ghana." And he said, "Oh, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah." And I said, "Yes, he was the first president of our country." I'm telling you, that man said to me, "If you need anything, you come and talk to me." Just because I came from Ghana and I knew Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Wow.
This is how big Kwame Nkrumah was. So, I don't know what he meant by Akufo-Addo had done better than Kwame Nkrumah. For me, there's no match at all.
I mean, Reverend, what do you think he should have said?
Well, see, when people get too happy or excited, it's very likely that they might say things that they will regret later.
True.
So I'll give that to him.
True.
That is why when you are called into such big places and do public speaking, you should always have your speech written. There's a reason for that. Because when people get lifted up to a certain positions or a certain, places, the likelihood of them being carried away and saying things that they shouldn't say is very high. So bigger presidents all over the world, they always have their speeches written, especially on teleprompters, including American presidents.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't go off script. All he should have said was this. I want to thank God Almighty for this great opportunity. And I want to thank President, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, and also Vice President Bawumia, and all the leaders of the NPP party, and all of you gathered here today, and NPP supporters everywhere, and every Ghanaian, for the opportunity that you have given me. The words are very important. I am really humbled that you see me fit to serve as a running mate for Dr. Bawumia. And I promise you, I will serve this country and our presidential candidate to make sure that this country become the country that we all want it to be. See, these are the words you say. Don't say too much. Don't say too much. And then you thank God, and then you say, God bless, everyone, and God bless Ghana. And then you sit down. This is not time for campaign. It's your acceptance speech. Take it and sit down.
That's all.
That's it. Your campaign will come later. This is your outdooring. Don't soil yourself.
I mean, with what he said, he later came back to defend himself of what he was trying to say, and that Ghanaians misinterpreted what he said. By coming back to defend himself, do you agree, say, what he has come or what he has done proves that he is arrogant? Do you agree?
It's too late, and I'll tell you why. See, I have listened to this man for a while on TV because I follow Ghana politics a lot, and I've heard him say a lot of things. Oh, bring your timetable. If you put that in the budget, I will also go on demonstration. He's been making these comments for a long. So when you have a track record, you can't say that when you say it one time it's a mistake.
Yeah.
So it's not this is not the first time he's done it. So it makes it very difficult for his critics to even accept his apology.
Yeah.
And for me, I tell you this. When he said Kwame Nkrumah, he actually had another phonetic in his throat, and it started with a K. But he didn't say it. If you listen to it carefully, just do a voice analysis and pull it back and listen to exactly the letter that he pronounced. It was Kufuor's name.
Yeah, like what to say Kufuor?
Yes. So, and this is a man that actually called Kufuor his political godfather. So, was he actually going to say Kufuor's name?
Question for the gods.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if we decide to talk about Napo and his communication issue, Reverend, I personally think he has communication issue, and many media personnel has come out to confirm that he also has an anger issue, and so maybe that manner affects the way he communicates. I don't know if that side is medically proven and it is true. But I personally think he has communication issue in terms of rallying people to do something. Well, I mean, if we decide to talk about Napo and his MPP, we will never stop because to be able to.
But let me come in. Let me come in and say that I don't think there's no medical issue. I mean, we can't say that. Everyone has a behavior flaw. If you hang with me for a long time, you will find my behavior flaw, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is this: when you find your behavior flaw, then you also have to find how you control those behavior flaws.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like me, for example, you know me, I hardly get angry.
Yeah.
And when you do things to me and it even angers me, I keep it in myself for a long time. It has to repeat itself for many times for me to explode. So when I'm angry, I try not to say anything because I'm a man of words. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So if I decide to respond to you in my anger, I will use words that you probably have never heard before. I'm not going to curse you, but the way I'll put words together and talk to you, you will think about it for 100 years and it will still hurt you.
Yeah.
So when I'm angry, I try not to talk at all.
Yeah.
Because I know that that's a flaw of mine. So it's not a medical issue. It's not anything. Everyone has a flaw. And so if I know that I have an anger issue, I have a problem with talking with arrogance, and I'm going to accept the presidential, a nomination like this, I will take a written statement.
Oh, I see. Reverend, we will never end talk comparing past presidents' performance to, current president's performance. Even Kwame Nkrumah alone, if you begin to talk about the things he has achieved in Ghana and even the continent as a whole, we will never end, and this conversation will never stop. Don't forget this show is sponsored by Enrich Beauty, Enrich beauty product, and as a skin product, and Enrich Beauty say all types of skincare product, oil, massaging oil, soaps, just any type of product for your skincare. Visit them on their website www.enrich.com, www.enrich.com. Free delivery within United States of America. And then we'll be seeing Ghana now, so Toby Bro, man. That's what Ghana now, per se. Just let us know. We will be seeing America. You bet ship ya come on by Christmas holidays and on their bro. And then free delivery. You put that in a purely organic. And then kindly visit them on their website www.enrich.com for a good treat for your skin. All right, Reverend, thank you for joining us on today's episode of Hot Issues. So it's a funny for this is where we wrap up on today's episode. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends to also enjoy this amazing show. This is where we say bye bye and thank you once again for joining us.